In the middle of the West Texas desert, a truck burned with a man trapped inside. Before the fire consumed everything, he sent one final message. "I'm Mr. Gray, retired investigator." These are the stories that never left me. The Chihuahuan Desert of West Texas is a land of extremes, scorching days that bake the earth like a kiln, and nights so dark the stars seemed close enough to pluck from the sky. On October 31st, 2024, Halloween night, the desert held its breath as flames erupted in a remote ditch off FM 866 near Barstow, a speck of a town in Ward County, where the population barely tops 2,000 and the main attractions are oil rigs and the occasional dust devil swirling across the scrubland. The fire consumed the cab of a Kenworth T680 semi-truck, the kind used by haulers in the Permian Basin to transport frac sand for fracking operations. The blaze was no accident. It was a deliberate inferno, ignited with gasoline siphoned from a jerry can purchased earlier that evening at a Stripes convenience store in Monahans, where the clerk remembered a stocky man in a hoodie paying cash and avoiding the cameras. Inside the cab, as the heat intensified and smoke choked the air, Ryan Caldwell, 39, fought for his life, zip-tied at the wrists with heavy-duty plastic restraints from a hardware store in Odessa, blood trickling from a fresh gunshot wound to his temple inflicted by a .40 caliber Glock. Ryan's vision blurred. His attackers, two enforcers from a local cartel offshoot, had already fled in a black Chevy Tahoe, their taillights fading into the night. In his final moments, Ryan's thoughts turned to his family, his wife Megan waiting at home in Midland with a pot of chili simmering for trick-or-treaters, his daughter Haley, 14, dressed as Taylor Swift for a school party, his son Luke, 10, excited about his pirate costume and a bucket full of Snickers. With trembling fingers slick with his own blood, Ryan pulled his iPhone from his boot where he'd hidden it during the struggle. He typed blindly, the screen cracked from the scuffle. "Help, they're burning the truck. Tell Megan I love her." The message was sent at 2:45 a.m. to Megan's number, but in the desolate Badlands where cell towers are miles apart and service is as unreliable as the weather, it never delivered. The phone slipped from his hand as the flames roared higher, melting the device's casing and scorching the interior. But the SIM card, buried in the wreckage, survived, a tiny piece of silicone holding on to those desperate words like a digital testament from the grave. The fire burned itself out by dawn, leaving a smoldering husk that a local rancher, Earl Jenkins, discovered while checking fences on his 5,000-acre spread. Earl, 68, with weathered skin from decades under the Texas sun and a chew of Red Man tobacco in his cheek, smelled the acrid smoke before he saw the wreck. Like burned rubber mixed with something worse, death, he later told the deputies. He pulled his old Ford F-150 over, grabbed his flip phone with spotty service and dialed 911. "Got a burned-out semi in the ditch out here off 866. Smells god-awful. Might be someone inside." That call would unravel a web of debt, drugs, and desperation hidden in the shadows of the Permian oil boom, where fortunes are made and lives are lost in the pursuit of black gold. But at its heart, it was a story of a father's undying love, captured in a message that survived the flames. Ryan Caldwell was the embodiment of the West Texas working man. Resilient, family-focused, and forever chasing the next paycheck in a region where the oil industry dictated the rhythm of life. Born in 1985 in Sweetwater, Texas, a small town on Interstate 20 known for its annual Rattlesnake Roundup Festival every March, where thousands gather to hunt, skin, and fry rattlers in a bizarre blend of tradition and tourism, Ryan grew up in a double-wide trailer on the outskirts, surrounded by cotton fields and wind turbines spinning lazily in the breeze. His father, Buck Caldwell, Ryan Caldwell was the embodiment of the West Texas working man, resilient, family-focused, and forever chasing the next paycheck in a region where the oil industry dictated the rhythm of life. Born in 1985 in Sweetwater, Texas, a small town on Interstate 20 known for its annual Rattlesnake Roundup Festival every March, where thousands gather to hunt, skin, and fry rattlers in a bizarre blend of tradition and tourism, Ryan grew up in a double-wide trailer on the outskirts, surrounded by cotton fields and wind turbines spinning lazily in the breeze. His father, Buck Caldwell, was a roughneck for Halliburton, spending weeks on drilling rigs in the Permian Basin, coming home with hands stained black from crude and stories of blowouts, wildcat wells, and the occasional bar fight in Odessa. Buck taught Ryan to drive a stick-shift Chevy at 14, to change oil in the driveway with tools from AutoZone, and to never back down from hard work. His mother, Linda, waited tables at Allen's Fried Chicken in town, serving up chicken-fried steaks smothered in cream gravy, belt-buster burgers, and sweet tea to truckers and locals alike. She instilled in Ryan the value of family, making sure Sunday dinners were sacred. Fried catfish from the local pond, cornbread from Jiffy Mix, and banana pudding with Nilla wafers. Ryan's childhood was typical West Texas. Summers swimming in stock tanks to beat the 100-degree heat, winters bundling in Carhartt jackets for dove hunting with his dad's 12-gauge Remington, and Fridays under the lights at Mustang Bowl, where he played linebacker for the Sweetwater Mustangs high school team. The crowd in cowboy hats and boots cheered as the band played The Eyes of Texas, and Ryan dreamed of college ball. He earned a partial scholarship to Angelo State University in San Angelo, studying business administration while playing for the Rams, but a torn ACL in his sophomore year ended that. Limping back to Sweetwater, he took a job at a local rig as a floor hand, mopping decks and chaining pipes, earning $18 an hour plus hazard pay. He met Megan Lopez at a homecoming dance in 2002, her in a sundress from the JCPenney in Abilene, him in starched Wrangler jeans, a pearl snap shirt from Cavender's Boot City, and scuffed Ariat boots. Megan, with her long, dark hair and bright smile, was a cheerleader from Nolan County High, dreaming of nursing school. They dated through Ryan's injury, married at 20 in a backyard ceremony at Buck's place, with the Justice of the Peace officiating, Lone Star beer and ice tubs, and a playlist of George Strait and Alan Jackson blasting from a boombox. The reception featured brisket smoked by Buck on his offset pit, potato salad from Linda, and a sheet cake from Walmart decorated with Just Married and icing. They moved to Midland for better jobs. The basin was booming in the mid-2000s with fracking tech revolutionizing oil extraction. Ryan got his CDL at Midland College, landing with Lone Star Freight, a mid-sized trucking company based in Odessa that hauled frac sand, drilling mud, and equipment to rigs across the basin. The pay jumped to $80,000 base, plus bonuses for hazardous loads, allowing them to buy a 1,800-square-foot ranch-style home in Greenwood, a suburb north of Midland's Loop 250 with affordable lots, chain-link fences for dogs, and neighbors who flew Texas flags year-round. The house had vinyl plank floors from Lowe's, a kitchen with granite counters installed on a DIY weekend, and a backyard with a trampoline from Academy Sports for the kids. Haley arrived in 2010, a bundle of energy with Megan's dark hair and Ryan's stubborn streak. Luke followed in 2014, a quiet boy who loved building Legos and watching Paw Patrol on Nickelodeon. Ryan's life settled into the trucker's routine. 2 weeks on the road, 1 off. He'd haul loads from the BNSF rail yard in Midland, fine silica sand used to prop open fracked rock formations, to sites in Andrews, Kermit, or Pecos, navigating highways like US 385 through sand dunes that shifted like ocean waves, and past wind farms with turbines taller than grain silos. Stops included Love's travel stops for showers, quarters in the machine for 5 minutes of hot water, Flying J for diesel at $4.50 a gallon, and Buc-ee's for beaver nuggets, brisket sandwiches, and the cleanest bathrooms in Texas. On the CB radio, his handle was Big Blue after his rig's color, chatting with other drivers about road conditions, trooper traps on I-20, or the latest Longhorns game. The job's perks? Freedom, with audiobooks like John Grisham thrillers on Audible or podcasts like Joe Rogan Experience to pass miles. Downsides? Missing Haley's volleyball games at Greenwood High School, where the Rangers played in a gym packed with parents and team spirit wear, Luke's t-ball practices at the park off Wadley Avenue with dust kicking up from cleats, and date nights with Megan at Cattle Baron's Steak and Seafood in Midland, where they'd split a ribeye and baked potato. To boost income, Ryan took side gigs, hauling extra loads for contacts met at bars like Cactus Jack's or La Frontera in Odessa. At first, legit, surplus pipe or tools for cash under the table, but Victor Ruiz, owner of La Frontera, a dive bar on Andrews Highway with pool tables, jukeboxes playing Tejano music from Selena to Grupo Intocable, and backroom poker games, offered more. Ruiz, 42, with Sinaloa roots smuggled across the border in the 90s, had tattoos of La Virgen de la Guadalupe on his arms, hidden under long-sleeve shirts, and a smile that promised easy money but delivered trouble. Hide it in the sand, amigo. No one checks frac loads. $5,000 a run. Ryan did a few, telling himself it was temporary. Pay for Haley's cheer camp at Texas Tech and Lubbock, Luke's asthma inhalers from Walgreens, or a family trip to Schlitterbahn Water Park in New Braunfels. But the cartels had deep hooks in the basin. DEA reports showed Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation using oil field traffic for meth and fentanyl, blending with legit cargo. A close call on US 285, a DPS trooper pulling him over for a taillight, sniffing but not searching, scared Ryan straight. "No more," he told Ruiz at the bar over a Shiner Bock. "I got kids." Ruiz's eyes darkened. "You owe from poker, Caldwell, $12,000. Pay or keep running." Ryan didn't tell Megan. She suspected stress, Ryan's nightmares from rig days, occasional dips into Copenhagen to calm nerves, but chalked it to the job. That Halloween, the house was decorated with Dollar Tree cobwebs and jack-o'-lanterns carved at the kitchen table. Ryan loaded at the rail yard, dust clouding his mirrors under sodium lights. He kissed Megan, her apron dusted with flour for chili for trick-or-treaters. "Long haul to Pecos. Back Sunday, babe. Love you." He ruffled Luke's pirate costume hair from Party City. "Save me some Snickers, buddy." Haley hugged him. "Drive safe, Dad. Text when you stop." He hit I-20 West at dusk, sunset painting pump jacks orange. Radio on KCRS for country, Morgan Wallen singing Last Night. The burner buzzed. "Coordinates for drop. Don't flake or else." Ryan's hands tightened. He'd ignore it, deliver the legit load, get home, and tell Ruiz to shove it. At 2 a.m., the rest area off FM 866, a gravel lot with porta-potties, no cameras, semis idling like sleeping beasts. He texted Megan, "Stopped for a nap. Love you all. Kiss the kids." To Travis, "Long night. Miss y'all. Talk soon." He climbed into the sleeper, boots off, pulling a fleece blanket over him. Sleep came fitful, dreams of rigs exploding. Then headlights pierced the cab. A black Chevy Tahoe pulling up blocking him. Two men got out, Pepe Morales, stocky with cartel ink peeking from his collar, and Lalo Vargas, lean with knife scars on his face from bar brawls in Juarez. Ryan sat up, heart pounding. "What the hell?" Pepe grinned, Glock in hand through the open door. "Victor says hello. You flaked on the drop." Ryan reached for his phone, but Lalo snatched it. "No calls, pendejo." They dragged him out, zip-tied his wrists behind his back, forcing him into the Tahoe's back seat. Pepe drove the Kenworth off the highway to a dirt road 5 miles away, Lalo following in the Tahoe with Ryan. In the ditch, surrounded by mesquite bushes scratching like claws, they hauled Ryan back into the cab. "Please," Ryan begged. "I have kids, a daughter, son. Megan's waiting." Pepe laughed. Should have thought of that before saying no. Lalo pressed the .40 to Ryan's temple. "Adios." Shot rang out, echoing across the desert. Blood sprayed, but Ryan wasn't dead yet. Grazed, conscious. As they poured gasoline, laughing, Ryan fumbled the burner from his boot with bound hands, typing, "Help! They're burning the truck! Tell Megan I love her!" Sent. Match lit. Flames roared. They fled, Tahoe kicking dust. Megan Caldwell's Friday started like any other in Midland. Alarm at 6:30 a.m., coffee brewing in the Mr. Coffee machine, Luke bouncing in his pirate costume from Party City, demanding to wear it to school. "No candy for breakfast, buddy," she said. pouring Cheerios into a bowl with milk from H-E-B. Haley, groggy in her Taylor Swift outfit remnants, grabbed a Pop-Tart in her backpack for Greenwood High. "Bye, Mom. Love you." Megan checked her phone. No text from Ryan. Unusual, but the basin's cell service was spotty, towers overwhelmed by rig traffic. She texted, "Morning, hun. Safe? Call when you can." Dropped the kids, Haley to school for a Halloween dance prep in the gym, Luke to elementary for the costume parade, where kids marched in Disney outfits and teachers handed out mini Snickers. At Wells Fargo on Big Spring Street, Megan counted deposits, roughnecks cashing $2,000 checks smelling of diesel, office workers depositing payroll. Her phone stayed silent. Lunch break, she called Ryan, straight to voicemail. "Hey, everything okay? Miss you." By 3 p.m., as she picked up the kids, worry set in. "Mom, where's Dad?" Luke asked. "Still on the road, sweetie. He'll call soon." Evening, the chili simmered unused on the stove, cornbread baking in the oven. Trick-or-treaters came, princesses, superheroes, a few oil rig costumes with toy hard hats. Megan handed out full-sized Hershey bars from Sam's Club, but her smile was forced. No call. She texted again. "Ryan? Starting to worry. Love you." Saturday morning, alarm bells rang full force. Megan called Lone Star Freight's dispatcher in Odessa. "Ryan's load delivered per GPS in Pecos yesterday morning. No check-in, but that's normal in bad service areas. Probably fine." "Not like him," Megan said. "He always texts." She called Travis, Ryan's brother in Lubbock, a mechanic at a Ford dealership. "No word since Thursday text. You heard from him?" "No. Let me call some buddies in the basin." Megan drove to the Midland County Sheriff's Office on Craddock Highway, a modern facility with Dodge Ram Chargers in the lot, Texas and American flags flying high, and a lobby with wanted posters from meth traffickers and cattle thieves. Deputy Carla Ramirez, 35, a Latina with family in the oil fields, her brother a roustabout for Exxon, took the report in a small interview room with a vending machine humming in the corner, offering Dr. Pepper and Big Red sodas. "In Texas, for adults over 18, there's no mandatory wait if we suspect foul play, ma'am," Ramirez explained, typing on her Dell laptop connected to the state's lead system. "Especially truckers. Basin roads are dangerous with cartels, accidents, fatigue. Any enemies? Debts? Affairs?" Megan shook her head, tears welling. "No. He mentioned work stress, extra loads for cash to help with bills, but he was happy, loved the kids." Ramirez noted Ryan's description: 6'1", 220 pounds, brown hair, green eyes, Longhorns tattoo on right forearm, last seen in Lone Star Freight Kenworth T680, plate TX4567RP. She entered it into TCIC, Texas Crime Information Center, and NCIC, National Crime Information Center, issuing a statewide BOLO to DPS troopers, county sheriffs, and Border Patrol. "We'll ping his phone," Ramirez said. "Last tower hit?" Megan provided the number. Ping came back, last active 2:17 a.m. Friday, rest area off FM 866 near Barstow. Ramirez's eyes narrowed. Remote area, bad for service, good for trouble. "We'll check truck stops, hospitals. Call if you hear anything." Word spread fast in Midland's tight-knit community. The First Baptist Church prayer chain activated. Pastor Jim emailed the congregation, "Pray for Ryan Caldwell, missing trucker. Family needs support." Megan's co-workers at the bank started a GoFundMe, "Help Find Ryan, reward $5,000. Flyers printed at Office Depot went up at Stripes gas stations, H-E-B grocery stores, and Love's travel stops. Missing, Ryan Caldwell, 39, last seen Monaghan's area, drives red Kenworth semi, call Midland SO. Local TV, KMID ABC Big 2 and KWES NBC 9 ran segments during the 6 p.m. news with anchors in suits reading from teleprompters. Midland trucker Ryan Caldwell has been missing since Thursday. His wife, Megan, spoke to us today. On camera at her home, Megan, eyes puffy, pleaded, "Ryan, if you're out there, come home. We love you. Haley and Luke need their dad. If anyone has information, please call the sheriff." Social media exploded. Facebook groups like Midland / Odessa Lost and Found and Permian Basin Oilfield Wives shared the flyer. Comments poured in, praying, "Basin roads are killer. Cartel, stay safe. Seen him at Flying J, good guy." Rumors swirled at the bank. Heard he owed money, gambling, oil fields rough, meth runs. The Permian Basin had a dark side. DEA reports showed cartels using trucks for drugs, blending with legit loads. Homicides spiked with the boom, bodies dumped in dunes. Sunday morning was Megan attended church, praying in the pews with Haley and Luke clutching her hands. The call came. Earl Jenkins's 911 to Ward County SO. "Burned semi out here. Bad smell. Think there's a body." Ward County Sheriff's deputies rolled up to the scene in their Dodge Chargers, lights flashing blue and red against the desert tan. Sheriff Ronnie Dodson, 55, a lifelong local with a mustache like Sam Elliott and a drawl honed from years calling high school football games on local radio, led the response. The truck was in a shallow ditch off a private ranch road, cab a blackened skeleton, tires melted to the rims like wax candles, trailer tilted at 45 degrees with frac sand spilled across the dirt like a white wound. The air reeked of charred metal, rubber, and something worse, burned flesh. "Secure the perimeter," Dodson ordered, taping off with yellow crime scene tape from the trunk. "Call the fire marshal and rangers." Texas State Fire Marshal investigator Mike Gomez arrived from Austin by noon, flying into Midland International Air and Spaceport and driving a state-issued F-150 to the scene. Gomez, 48, with a background in arson from Houston FD, suited up in Tyvek and examined the cab. Pour pattern here, accelerant, likely gasoline. Started in the driver's area, spread fast. Arson, no doubt. Inside the cab, the remains were skeletal, strapped to the seat with a melted seatbelt. Body burned post-mortem, the medical examiner from Reeves County Morgue later confirmed at the autopsy in Pecos. Cause of death, gunshot wound to the right temple. .4 caliber slug recovered from skull. Time of death, around 3 a.m. Friday. Dental records from Ryan's dentist in Midland, Dr. Patel on Wadley Avenue, confirmed Ryan Caldwell. Megan got the call from Deputy Ramirez while at home, kids watching Bluey on Disney Plus to distract them. "Mrs. Caldwell, we found a burned truck matching your husband's. Remains inside. We need you for ID, but dentals match." Megan collapsed, sobbing. "How? Who?" The phone was a melted lump in the console, but the SIM card was intact, protected in its slot. Sent to the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia for digital forensics. Techs recovered the data. Last outgoing text at 2:45 a.m. to Megan. "Help, they're burning the truck. Tell Megan I love her." The message never delivered. Tower logs showed signal failure in the remote area, common in the basin where coverage is patchy due to terrain and overload from rig communications. Megan, hearing it read over the phone by Ramirez, broke down. "He was alive, trying to warn us. He loved us till the end." Texas Rangers were called in, the elite investigative arm of the Texas Department of Public Safety for major crimes in rural areas. Ranger Hank Morales, 48, from El Paso, with a mustache, Stetson, and boots polished to a shine, took lead. Morales, a veteran of cartel cases along the border, coordinated with DEA's Midland resident office. Signature cartel hit. Execution, burn to destroy evidence, but they missed the SIM. Cell data from AT&T and Verizon. Ryan's phone at the rest area until 2:20 a.m., then moved 5 miles to the burn site. 2 burners pinged nearby, traced to numbers bought at a Walmart in Odessa, security video showing Pepe Morales purchasing them. Flying J clerk in Monahans, a young woman named Sofia Gutierrez working the night shift for $12 an hour, remembered Ryan. Bought a Dr. Pepper and jerky around 1:45 a.m. Seemed normal. Video from the store's cameras, Ryan at the counter, then outside, 2 men approaching, arguing, forcing him into the Tahoe. DEA intel, Ruiz linked to Sinaloa offshoots, using oilfield trucks for meth from Mexico, hidden in sand or pipe. "Boom brings bad guys," a DEA agent told Morales. "Trucks are perfect cover, no x-rays at checkpoints." The Permian Basin's dark side came into focus. The 2010s boom had turned Midland, Odessa into a modern Wild West. Population exploding, housing shortages leading to man camps, and crime spiking with drugs. Cartels infiltrated, using rigs for money laundering and trucks for transport. DEA seizures hit record highs, 5,000 pounds of meth in 2024 alone. Ruiz's bar, La Frontera on Andrews Highway, a stucco building with neon signs for Modelo and Tecate, pool tables inside, and a jukebox playing norteño bands like Los Tigres del Norte, was the hub. Ruiz immigrated from Sinaloa in the 90s, started as a bartender, bought the place with loans from associates. Backroom poker games attracted truckers like Ryan. Debts turned into favors. Rangers raided the bar at dawn, SWAT in vests breaching with flashbangs, ledgers in a safe. Caldwell, 3 runs, $15K owed. Meth residue in hidden compartments. Ruiz arrested at his home in Great House, a gated community with McMansions funded by dirty money. Caldwell hauled sand, owed from cards, but I didn't kill him. Interrogation at Odessa PD. Morales leaned in. Your boy's phone's at the scene. Witness saw the abduction. Ruiz lawyered up. Tito Ramirez, a driver for Lone Star arrested on a DUI on I-20, flipped for reduced charges. In a wired room at a Motel 6, he told Morales, Ruiz ordered the hit. Caldwell quit the meth runs, said family first. Victor said make an example. Pepe and Lalo did it. Gun recovered from Vargas's girlfriend's apartment in Pecos, matched ballistics. Arrests, Morales and Vargas at a Super 8 motel, guns and cash seized. Trial in Pecos Federal Court, March 2025. U.S. Attorney Dan Whitaker versus Defense Team. Openings. Whitaker. Ryan's last message from flames. Proof of murder. Love enduring. Evidence parade. Megan's testimony. He always came home. Ranger Morales on pings. FBI tech on SIM. Message recovered intact. Tito on stand, cross-examined harshly, liar for deal, but jury believed. Defense, no direct link, phone data unreliable in desert. Closings, Whitaker, message survived fire, truth does too. Guilty, Ruiz life, enforcers 40 years. Megan started Ryan's Road Safe Foundation, advocating trucker safety apps, anti-cartel measures. Haley wore his Longhorns necklace to games. Luke kept his glove. In the basin, roads stayed dangerous, but Ryan's message lived. Love stronger than flames. Thanks for listening. If you want more cases from my old files, like the video and subscribe. There's plenty left in the casebook.